All right, in the last video, we went ahead and we used the properties.json file and we pulled it into our property page or properties page. And then we passed it into the property card component, which right now is just rendering just hard-coded HTML. So we want to make this dynamic. So let's start off by taking in our prop with the property. And then we're going to be using the image component. So let's bring that in from next image. And let's bring in the link component as well. So link, next link. And we'll just kind of start from top to bottom. So we have this IMG tag, which is working right now because these images, if we just say source images, it looks in the public folder, which we do have images, properties, and then we have the a1.jpg. So I'm going to change this to the image component. And when you use the image component, we actually have to do slash, and then that will pertain to the public directory. But you can see it says missing with property. So it's a little weird how this works, where it requires a height and a width. It seems like it requires it sometimes, but sometimes it doesn't. So it's a little strange. But what we'll do is we can actually pass in this sizes attribute, which I just recently found out. And we can do 100 VW, but we still believe we still have to pass in height and width, but we can set it to 0. So let's say width, set that to 0, because we have width full and height auto in our CSS. Yeah, so that seems to work. All right, now the image, obviously we don't want this same image for every one, and the property has, remember, it has an array of images. If we look at one of these objects here, it has this images, which is an array. So what I'm going to do is just render the first image, so the 0 index. So let's change this hard-coded value here. We'll change it to property.images, and we'll take the first image. And let's see, failed to parse A1 and next image. It must start with a leading slash. Oh, it's just the image name. And the reason I got this confused is because later on, the whole URL, the whole Cloudinary URL will be in the database. But here, it's just the image name, so we do have to prefix it with slash images slash properties slash, and then we can wrap this, let's see, wrap this like that, and that with a backtick, and then hopefully that works. And there we go. So now we have the first image for each listing, for each property. All right, now let's move down and get rid of some of this hard-coded stuff. This apartment, I'm going to get rid of that, and we're going to say property.type. So now you can see some of these have changed: condo, studio, house, and then let's do the name. So this Boston Commons Retreat, we're going to change that to the property name. Okay, and then let's see. Now this right here, this $4,200 a month, this is a little tricky because some of them aren't monthly, right? I showed you the rates where they can choose to be nightly, weekly, or monthly, okay, or all of them. So some don't have a month. So what we'll do here is, and I'll just show you, if we were to do this, like property dot rates dot monthly, it works for some, but notice this one right here, it doesn't have a monthly rate because they're not accepting monthly payments. So what I'm going to do instead is create a little function up at the top here within the property card. So let's say const get rate display. And what we'll do here is get the rates. So I'm going to just destructure, let's say rates, and I'm going to destructure that from the property. And then let's say if rates, whoops, I don't know what that is, if rates dot monthly, then what will return from this function is going to be, I'm going to put two money signs because one is the actual literal money sign. We could put it down below, but I'll just put it here. And actually, no, we'll put it down below. I think that's a little cleaner. We'll return, this has to be in backticks. So we'll return rates dot monthly, and then I want the commas for the thousands, so we can just do two locale string, right? Yeah, that should work. And then we'll do slash mo. Yeah, that should do it. And then let's do an else if. So else if rates dot weekly, then let's copy this line, put that in there, and change this to WK, and change this to rates weekly. And then we'll say else if, and here we'll do rates dot nightly, not mightly, nightly. Then we'll paste that in, and I'll change this MO to night, change that to nightly. So first it's going to look for monthly, then it'll look for weekly, then it'll look for nightly for this part right here. So down here, let's replace this. We'll keep that money sign there. And let's say get rate display. So now you can see that the ones that do have are available for monthly have slash MO, but the ones that don't, like this one, has slash week. This one has slash week. Okay, so we get that all set. Now the next thing, let's move down a little bit here. We have the beds, baths, and square feet. So we'll change that to a dynamic property dot beds. Change this to property dot baths, and then let's see, this 1500 right here, we're going to change that to property dot, I think it's square underscore feet. Save that, and these should be different. Yep. Now we need some space in between the numbers, so I'm just going to put just a space like that there and here. We don't need one for square feet. That looks fine. Yeah, so it looks good. Now, we do have icons that aren't showing up. That's because we're using the I tag. We're not using the CDN. Remember, we're using React icons, so we actually need to bring those icons in. So we'll do that in a second, but let's just figure out the rest of this. Right here where it says weekly and monthly, which also will have an icon next to them, but we only want it to show if they're actual available nightly, weekly, or monthly. So what we'll do is just wrap these. So for instance, let's say if rates dot, let's say rates dot nightly, then we're going to show, I'm going to grab this right here and put that in here. This is for nightly, so let's say nightly. Right, and then I'll just grab that. We can get rid of this one and just put two more here. This one, that's going to be, let's make this one weekly. And then this one is going to be monthly. So save that, and let's see, rates is not defined. Oh, we got to add here. Let's see, we'll just put some cursors in here. Property dot. And there we go. So notice this one only has weekly and monthly. This one has nightly, weekly, and monthly. All right, and we'll handle the icons in a minute. Down here we have the location, so the city and state. So I'm going to say right here, property. Oops. Let's close that up. Property dot location dot city, and then after that we'll do property dot location state. So now those are all, excuse me, those are all different. And then the link, obviously we don't want property HTML. We also need to change this to a linked component, right? And then this is going to be dynamic. Oops, we want to use backticks. So this will be dynamic. It'll go to slash properties slash and then the ID, which is property dot underscore ID. So if I click on one of these, it takes us to the property page, the single page. Good. Now we just want to do the icons. So I'm going to bring in the icons that we need at the top here. So that's going to be, let's say, from React-icons/FA. And the icons we want are going to be FA bed, FA bath. Is it just bath or? Yeah, bath. And then FA ruler combined, and FA money bill, and then FA, I think it's map, let's see, map marker. Yeah, right here, map marker. So those are the icons that I want. So let's come down here. I'm just going to search for the I tag, opening I tag. So right here, we're going to replace this with FA bed, and then I'm just going to add in a class name, class name, and we're going to set that to be inline and give it a margin right 2. Let's see if that works. Save that, and there we go. So you see a little bed icon. And then I'm going to copy that and replace this next I tag. And then this is just going to be FA bath. Oops. And then this one for the square feet, this is going to be FA ruler combined. All right, cool. Now the weekly, monthly, nightly, those are also going to have that bill icon. So this right here, I'm going to replace with FA money bill, and class name will also do inline MR2. Okay, so you can see the little bill icon. Let's just copy that, and we'll put that here and here. All right, just lets the user know like how, you know, the frequency that they can pay. And then the last one is going to be where the location is. So this I tag right here, which, yeah, let's just replace that with FA map marker, and I'm going to do text dash, what was it, orange 700. Oh, I should probably put class name. Okay, let's move that down a little bit. We'll see MT1. There we go. So those are looking good. We got our property card. Looks good on small screens. So I think what we'll do in the next video is to get our home page, because we will have, we're going to do 3 of these on the home page. Ultimately, they're going to be 3 random properties. And then, of course, much later on, we're going to deal with this, get this stuff from the database, add pagination, add search, and all that stuff. But at least we have the property cards that I think look pretty good. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.